Mike, you're really something, you know that? What's the matter? You too good for this $10, huh? You too good for it. It's a good $10. You know something, Mikey? You make me laugh, you know that? You know, I borrow money all over this neighborhood, left and right, from everybody, and I never paid them back. So I can't borrow no money from nobody no more, right? So who does that leave me to borrow money from but you? I borrow money from you because you're the only jerk-off around here that I can borrow money from without paying back, right? Right? Because, you know, that's what you are. That's what I think of you, a jerk-off.
Hey guys, it's Jim. Welcome back to another discussion video, and this time it is about Martin Scorsese's 1973 film Mean Streets. Obviously this was only Scorsese's third film. It was his first crime film, and of course this is where the Scorsese seed began. This is where Scorsese basically put out this film that was very personal to him. He related to these experiences. This is what the sort of stuff he saw on the streets growing up, and it kind of cemented what he would go on to do, and it is an incredible film. Obviously what came after, Goodfellas and Casino, were just towering films, but Mean Streets kind of gets a bit forgotten. You know, it's an overlooked film, but I feel like in a way that kind of benefits the film, because the film isn't supposed to be the extravagant, crazy films that Goodfellas and Casino are. This is supposed to be a proper, gritty, down and dirty, spontaneous crime film. You know, what I love about it is obviously Scorsese was very experimental here. He was, you know, very new, and the characters and the style of film and the ideas in the film and the kind of authenticity of the film go along with that. Very much is off the cuff, this film. It feels very unpredictable and unpolished, but in a great way. Yeah, in a great way. I mean, this is still, just like Goodfellas and Casino, this is still a stunning piece of work, just for different reasons. It tells the story of Charlie, played by Harvey Keitel, who is a young, small-time criminal who kind of works for the mafia, and he has a young friend called Johnny Boy, played by Robert De Niro, who is constantly owing money to loan sharks. And Charlie's also having an affair with Johnny's cousin Teresa, played by Amy Robinson, and he's trying to hold it all together because he's also a religious man, a Catholic man. Charlie is desperate to kind of be the honest man in this world that doesn't allow you to remotely be honest. This is a stunning early performance from Robert De Niro. I mean, let's just get out of the way first. Robert De Niro is explosive, unpredictable, incredible, electric in this film. It's a very kind of jokey, kind of hyperactive, unpredictable performance, and the character is that. Johnny is just completely and utterly out of control. One minute he's volatile, the next minute he's innocent and making jokes and you sympathise with him, the next minute you want to smash his head in. I don't think I've ever seen a character from De Niro where I've had such affection for him in certain moments and then just completely wanting to smash him in the face in other moments. This character is the perfect depiction of someone who gets into this lifestyle and wants to be someone they're not. You know, he's basically lost. He's desperate to be more than he is. He's desperate to have some kind of respect, some kind of power or acceptance. But he is essentially just a punk kid. And it's just fascinating to see Johnny try and put out this facade or try and exist in this world and try and make his own rules and try and just screw over Charlie and everyone around him and get away with it, like believing that he's somehow got the respect of high-level gangsters when he's just completely and utterly walking on thin ice constantly throughout the film. I mean, there really is an impending sense of doom for this character as he just spirals further and further out of control.
Meanwhile, Frankie Bones is over there. Frankie Bones, I owe him $1,300 for like 7-8 months already. He's after me. I can't even walk on Hester Street without ducking that guy. He's like he's waiting for me, like I can't move, you know, and he sees that I'm losing, right? Yeah. So like he's waiting for me here. So he's tapping me on the shoulder. He's saying, hey, tapping me like this, like a hawk. Hey, get it up. You're losing now. Give me some money. I says, hey, Frankie, come on, you know, give me a break over here. Let me win some back. You know, I got debts. I mean, I'm in a big hole. He says, never mind. Give me the money. I says, okay, Frankie. So I gave him $200. Meanwhile, I lost the deal. I go outside. I'm a little depressed now. Anyway, I want to cut the story short because I know you don't want to hear all this. And I know. But I'm to make a long story short. Anyway, I went to Al Kaplan, got a new tie. Got the shirt. You like the shirt? It's a nice tie.
Hey, Michael doesn't care if you're depressed. What is he, your priest? What do you come out going shopping when you owe somebody money, Johnny? That ain't right. What do you How much you got there?
Charlie, I'm gonna pay him next week. I'm gonna pay you.
You're going. You don't do nothing.
How much you got there?
I feel like Harvey Keitel does so well in conveying the care Charlie has for Johnny, and how that you could believe that they were friends. But then obviously the moments of frustration, it's like you really feel for Charlie. It's like, why is Johnny like this? He's just taking you for a ride. You know, the friendships in this world are so seedy and horrible, and no one's really loyal. But Charlie doesn't want to believe that. He wants to believe he can see the good in Johnny. Of course, Scorsese went on to examine self-destructive people over and over again. And he had a crazy way of having us sympathise with bad people again. The characters in Mean Streets are bad, but they have dimension to them. They have grey areas to them. You know, Charlie is trying to hold it all together. He's the cool-headed character, very much like Ray Liotta's character Henry in Goodfellas. He's a character who believes he can control this world that is always on a downwards tangent and about to explode around him. He truly believes that he can delay and control the inevitable collapse. And Scorsese has several characters like that in his films, like Henry from Goodfellas and like Charlie in this, where they truly believe there's a way to see this life through with only a certain amount of conflict and only a certain amount of drama. And everyone around them doesn't agree. Everyone around them is just completely out of control. But they, for some reason, believe that they can keep things quiet in this world somehow. Like Henry in Goodfellas, Charlie is still a character who loves to kind of flirt with danger. You know, he's having an affair with Johnny's cousin, which could cause some trouble, you know, within the crime scene. But he can't resist. And there are a couple of scenes in this, one in the church and one in a kitchen, where Charlie touches a candle, and I feel like that's what this is all about. He loves touching the flame. You know, this is what life is for him. He believes he has morals and he's religious and this and that, but he can't resist touching the flame. He can't resist taking those little risks. He can't resist the allure of this crazy world. He likes the danger. One of the lines at the start of the film is actually a voiceover from Martin Scorsese. The worst pain you can feel is the pain in your heart. I think that's a very meaningful line. You know, it's very much a film about guilt. It's a film about sin. It is a film that has a sense of with a religious element to it, an idea of following rules, an idea of these clashing worlds, an idea of Charlie almost trying to be a Jesus Christ figure in this crime world. I just love how authentic this is. You know, it's a slice of realism. It's down the food chain. You know, Goodfellas was, you know, established mob, mafia, organised crime. This is down the food chain. This is street level. Very gritty film. And again, you know, the fact that it was so early on in Scorsese's career, so early on in these actors' career, and before he made his massive mark, there's just that sense of genuinity to it. It feels so real. It's so urban, and you feel the streets in this. You smell the streets in this. It's so dirty and horrible and seedy, but so true. This doesn't unfold like Goodfellas and Casino. This is more like a documentary type thing. It's a film that breathes. You're given time to just find yourself observing these criminals going about their day. There's just a real day-to-day, street-level gangster life being shown. It's a film with a very loose structure. It is very raw. It's literally, some moments are just these guys walking around doing what they do, but it's creating that mood. It's letting you in on that world. It's Scorsese showing us the memories he had of what went on the streets growing up for him. Of course, Scorsese debuts one of his main filmmaking attributes, which is to sprinkle his record collection over the movie. And you know, it feels so incredibly meaningful when he does it in Mean Streets, because it's so ambitious and so brave to have this amount of songs in the film, to try and add extravagance and coolness to such a dirty street level film. It's crazy because it's not jarring. Scorsese's approach with music was something that really paid off, of course, in Goodfellas and Casino, but those films you'd expect it to work more because the films are so glitz and glamour. Mean Streets, he puts it in there to add that coolness, to add that energy, to add that swagger to it, while it is still a very, very down to earth film. But it still works because the scenes are so good. You know, the moments where it happens are so good. He's able to team that popular music with the dirtiness of Mean Streets, and I think it's fascinating. You know, like, one of the most iconic moments in the whole film, And for me, in Scorsese's whole career, to be honest, I mean, it will be forgotten because no one remembers Mean Streets enough, but you really should. That debut moment where we meet Johnny, Robert De Niro, when we meet him and he comes in to this blood red bar being observed by Charlie, and then the Rolling Stones' Jumping Jack Flash kicks in. That is just iconic. That is just incredible. That is just a gamble that pays off. It doesn't make things less serious, and that song is so rebellious and so edgy, and it goes along with the character of Johnny. But it was Scorsese saying early on, I'm going to become very cinematic and I'm going to explode into this style eventually. So just fascinating to see it, that spark of Scorsese early on. Of course, Scorsese's tracking shots of Keitel going through the club, also of Keitel getting wasted in a scene. There's always that blood red light. There's kind of a trippy atmosphere, and it's just again an example of the sort of direction he was about to unleash on the world. Ultimately, Mean Streets is a stunning crime debut for Martin Scorsese. The fact that this is his first crime film, and it is a crime film that many directors would dream of, is just a testament to this stunning director. I think Harvey Keitel is so sympathetic in the film, but also you can see that meanness in him too, you know, that you fact you can't hold on to morals in this world, but he is sympathetic, but you almost feel like shaking him and telling him to get out of this world. There are moments in it where he has conversations with Teresa about getting out of this world, but he just seems to be, he's there for a mission. He's doomed, as everyone in the Scorsese's gangster films. De Niro is stunning, of course. It's pretty much a perfect performance by young De Niro. So the fact that he was nailing performances like this back here early on is a testament to De Niro. I do truly believe he's probably the greatest actor of all time. It's a film that gets more fascinating as time goes on, as we get more of a retrospect on Scorsese's work, but you go back to it and it doesn't feel necessarily dated, because what was going on in it was so ambitious for the time and so creative. You just have to respect it. It doesn't feel dated at all. But what do you guys think of Mean Streets? Let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Click on the screen now. There's a discussion for Casino on the screen now, and Goodfellas, the other Scorsese classics, of course. Go and check them out. And I will see you guys next time.